Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are here for the URC semi-final matchup between the Stormers and Connacht. Now, Connacht getting themselves a very impressive win last week over Ulster, the upset of the quarterfinals, you'd have to say, whereas the Stormers, they were victorious over the Bulls. They were higher on the table, which is why this game is taking place in Cape Town. Looking at that top eight, though, how it ended up finishing. As you can see there, Connacht sitting there in 7th, so they were able to beat second-placed Ulster. Now, if Ulster had won that game, theoretically, this game would be played in Ireland, but because of the South African victory, the only way that the Stormers, if they are victorious here, don't have a home final is because Leinster would have beaten Munster, who are sitting in 5th. But these are last week's results. For anyone who didn't know, that first matchup did take place on Saturday morning here in New Zealand. Connacht beating Ulster 15 points to 10. Victory for the Stormers, 33 points to 21 over their fellow South African side, the Bulls. Leinster with a pretty one-sided affair up against the Sharks, 35 points to 5. And then that last game between Munster and Glasgow, a little bit of an anticlimactic performance from the Glasgow side in there. Munster, they were able to grit and grind their way to the victory. But this game only a couple minutes away, ladies and gentlemen, from kicking off. Should be a very entertaining one. Looking through at the Stormers starting lineup, it will be Stephen Kitsoff, Joseph Dweber, and Frans Malherbe as the front row. So all in bot contention for this upcoming World Cup. And very handy players to have at the front of your 4-pack. Ben Jason Dixon at 4, Ruben van Heerden at number 5. Then Willie Engelbrecht, Diamani, and Ivan Ruas will be the loose forward trio. Looking through at the back line now, Herschel Yankees gets the start at number 9 again with Mani Lebok on his outside. Now, that man has brought up quite a few question marks in a lot of Springbok and Stormer supporters' minds. His kicking tee. That is going to be the big question. How is it going to go today? If he gets it right, it'll be a lot of extra points on the ball for the Stormers. But if he is getting it wrong, that's just what I need. Close, but Dan Duplessis on the outside. Run now going to be there at number 13 for this contest. Lillian Zuss out on one wing. Angelo Davids, ex-Springbok or ex-Blitzbox player, I should say. They're actually playing very soon. South African Blitzbox side, making it through to the quarterfinals of the Toulouse Sevens. And then Damien Valimza there at number 15. Looking at the temperature quickly, 18 degrees Celsius, little bit of wind, 34 kilometers an hour, but should still be relatively decent conditions for a game of rugby in the semi-finals. Looking through at Connacht's starting lineup will be Buckley, Heffernan, and Finlay Bealham as the front row, Murphy and Murray as the locks. And it is Hurley Langton at number 6, Oliver at 7, and then Kian Prendergast comes in at number 8. Blade and Cardi, the 19 combo with the pace and the power of Bundyaki at number 12. Farrell on his outside, and then at the back 3, Mackenzie Hansen, John Porch, and also O'Halloran there at number 15. Quickly looking through at the benches for these two sides. The Stormers, it will be JJ Coetzee, Alistair Vermaak, Niddling Fouché, Evans, Tennyson, Paul de Vet, Duplessis, and also Sasha Ngume Zulu, last replacement for the Stormers. Then for Connacht, it is Tierney Martin, Duggan, Unger, hopefully I've said that correctly, Dowling, Butler, Marmion, Daly, and also Ralston. And it can add quite a bit of explosive play for them late in the contest. We did see him do such a thing when he was playing for the Western Force in Super Rugby Pacific. Let's go the Stormers, says Marco there, and let's do it. Stormers, cheers, Hamish. Says Blues now. I do appreciate both of you guys being here for this early morning live stream. We have still got, of course, Leinster versus Munster just around the corner. That will be a spectacular game, and we will be covering it live on the channel as well. But before that, we've actually got a sevens game that we're squeezing in between, which will be New Zealand versus Ireland for their quarterfinals. That has taken place at 4 a.m. New Zealand time. But Connacht just about to make their way out onto the field. You can see the determination on these players' faces. At the end of the day, they were able to pull off the upset last week, beating Ulster. But that is the question. Is that the big upset that they've been able to cause? Have they got another one in their tank? And up against the South African side in South Africa, it's always going to be a massive ask. We haven't seen too many sides victorious in South Africa throughout the last little while of the URC. But Stephen Kitsoff will be leading out this DHL Stormers side at home. Cape Town Stadium looking relatively full for this contest. I know that there was a bit of a breeze, but a nice warm 18 degrees Celsius should be a very nice temperature to play a bit of playoff rugby. Now, I should mention as well, throughout this whole live stream, we will be keeping you guys updated with what is happening in the sevens over in Toulouse. So currently it is Fiji versus USA in the women's quarterfinal. Score is sitting 15 points to 5 in favour of the USA. Perfect, New Zealand and Ireland. Let's go. Yeah, worked out pretty well that they were the two sides who were playing off in that gap, because that's the only quarterfinal, unfortunately, for the men that we are able to cover with these other URC games taking place. So it worked out quite nicely. And Calder says Nazi Williams in there as well. Like I mentioned, the Stormers looking very focused at the moment. They know that they've got quite the task in front of them. They know that they come in as favourites. So that is the big thing. Knowing you're a favourite and playing like a favourite, two completely different things in a game of rugby union, but we are just about underway. They are just having the moment of silence for Ravine Moritz. And after that, they will be straight into the semi-final action. Winner of this game will go on to face the winner of Leinster versus Munster. Now, if Munster win that game and the Stormers win this game, it is going to be a Cape Town final. If Connacht end up winning, no matter who it is up against, they will be in Ireland, but they will be at the other team's ground. So there is quite a bit on the line here for the Stormers and for Connacht. And I think if you're Connacht here, you've got to start fast, because or else the Stormers are going to show off exactly what they've been able to do throughout the past little while. Damien Valenza at 15, I think, is a smart choice, although I would have liked to see Clayton Blomekis get himself that opportunity off the bench after the brilliant start to this URC season that he did have. Mike Adamson will be the referee in charge of this one. Ben Blaine on the TMO. Remember those two names just in case, depending on how this match is refereed. And Tim Tam Slam says Marco there. Namaste, bro. Says Nazi Williams. But it is going to be Connacht who will be kicking off this one from right to left, just about to get us underway for the URC semi-finals. Hamish, get some females to come, says Nazi Williams. The problem is I don't know too many females who are willing to come in for a live stream at 2 a.m. though. Maybe we are hanging around the wrong Sheilas, as they say in New Zealand and Australia. And aloha, says Nate, talented footballer. Yeah, Damo Williams. I'm a big fan of that bloke, and you will get to see him in action very soon. The game kicked off, the semi-final now underway between these two sides. Nicely taken by Dan Duplessis inside of the 22 for the Stormers, about 10 metres out from their own line. Looks like already it's going to be rolled back by Herschel Yankees. Back into the bottom, Mani Libok almost partially charged down. Good work from Connacht putting on the early pressure, but the line out now about 32 metres out is going to be Connacht's throw. Dave Heffernan knows a thing or two about a rolling maul try. We've had quite a few of them for Connacht throughout this season. Same can be said, though, for Joseph Dweber and the Stormers. Both of these sides very familiar with using those forwards to their advantage. And I think that will be the key early on, that physicality for both of these sides. My man, Stephen Kitsey, always rate that ginger-haired man. Says Marco Vonopoli. He's always going to give you 110%. Nice little chip in behind here from Connacht. Awkward bounce there, but Lillian Zuss able to clean it up. Now Connacht getting over the ball. I believe that almost was a clean turnover, but just ends up staying on the side of the Stormers. Joseph Dweber, he was looking up at the man rather than the ball, puts it down, and that will now be a scrum feed for Connacht inside of the Stormers 22. An early mistake from a man who some would feel is under one of the more large amounts of pressure in this contest. Joseph Dweber, his line-out throw, of course, has been questioned throughout the season. Gotten better, though, I feel, over gradually being able to add a little bit more into that arsenal. But looking at the pack weights, 882 for the Stormers compared to 883 of Connacht. There is 1 kg difference. That just means that one of the Connacht players either held in the morning dump or maybe one of the Stormers snuck a cheeky pie in before they went down to the scrum. All about to be fed in by Connacht. Going to be Blade putting the ball in now. Oh, or not. Mike Adamson blows the whistle twice. We're going to have a little bit more of a stoppage. Talk about the space. The only Welshman who is in a semi-final at this stage, Mike Adamson. Sorry, anyone from Wales. I had to throw that one in there. It's been rumoured a few weeks that we should use that one. Snuck it in early. Blues status were 925 to 930 kg. So, yeah, huge packs there for the two Kiwi teams. Though we didn't see a huge amount of scrums, did we, throughout that match? Only early on when we saw the likes of a Cullen Grace going off the back looking relatively strong. Blade about to put the ball in though. And Connacht now looking to put in the beat. Oh, it's under pressure. It's gone down to the front rows. Penalty goes to Connacht. And now that will be frustration for the Stormers because they would have felt that they got that little bit of the better of them there. Franz Malharba frustrated because I believe what happened there was the Stormers pushed, which then caused Connacht to kind of cave like that, and then the Stormers went in underneath. We're going to get to see another replay here, but I believe it was that big extra push there, yeah, and then it ended up folding up Connacht, which meant that the Stormers went down in the front row, but it does end up with the penalty going the way of Connacht. I remember when the Big Ben Pies were $1. I remember when you used to be able to get, I'm not even that old. I should have mentioned it sounds like back in my day, but I remember when you used to get like a decent amount, like a $2 mixture or something, and you get a ton of lollies or sweets, depending on where you are in the world. What else do they call them? Candy. And listening to Donny Hathaway, another window, and shedding tears. There's Nazi Williams, but now 3.5 minutes in, Connacht looking to add their first 3 points on the board. And they will need every single point they can get here. We know that the Stormers will be physical, but Connacht, one of those sides that are, I would say, the dark horse of the semi-finals at the moment. Not many people are rating them, but I feel like they've got quite a bit of support there in Cape Town by the looks of it. A nice little fist bump between two supporters in the crowd after Connacht take the lead 3 points to 0. I just finished pumping my missus. Hang on, what? I'm now waiting for my chicken nuggets and a lasagna topper to heat up in the oven. Tell you what, that is quite the post-activity meal, Marco. I looked in our freezer. I was looking for some fish bites, but there were no fish bites about, so I ended up just having some shoestring fries. Now it's kicked downfield from Carty. Finds touch with it. Goes deep. The Stormers not really considering that quick throw. Also, funny guy says Nazi Williams. She's fast asleep, but I'm just hungry now, says Marco. What the hell is going on, folks? Says Tesla, welcome in, mate. You are keeping well. Joseph Webb about to have this line out throw on the halfway line, already making a crucial error a little bit earlier on in the contest by dropping that ball inside of the 22. Nicely taken, though, at the front by Ben Jason Dixon. Herschel Yankees under a lot of pressure. Rush defense there from the Connacht side. Doesn't work out, and the ball will still be available for the Stormers. Ball knocked out of his hands. Partial knock on there from Connacht, I thought. Now it's a very loose ball. It's like they're playing a game of AFL at the moment, but it's rubbered forward by the Stormers. That was an incredibly hard patch to commentate because no one really knew what was going on at that stage. But John Porch, we know that he managed to clean it up a long way off his wing. Nice inside ball there. Going to Murray. Connacht in possession on their 22. Carty will put the kick downfield. Some decent distance on that one, but it goes down to Damien Valimza, who is just outside of the Stormers 22. Looking to run it back. It's a big knock on there from Angelo Davids. He received a bullet pass from Valimza, who was only 2 meters from him. I don't know how many of you guys have tried it, but catching a bullet from 2 meters is quite hard, let alone however far away it's coming from. Prendergast hits it hard. Evan Roos has fallen over that breakdown. He's almost going to be penalised here if he's not careful. No, he's just partially rolled away. Much love, Tesla. Ball as well. Legend and the Stormers, says Marco there. Hello. Hamish says, Tesla, welcome in, mate. You've been keeping well. Blade goes to the left-hand side now. Oh, we've got a stoppage here. Unfortunately, there is a bit of an injury here for Dennis Buckley. Dennis Buckley. Isn't that the name of the guy from the In-Betweeners? No, that's James Buckley. Might be his brother. Got a YouTube channel, James Buckley. Actually did quite a bit of gaming, streaming around Call of Duty and whatnot. Completed it, mate. YouTube channel. The more useless information you know, there you go. A little bit added on. The Prendergast dude is a unit. He's huge. Yeah, he is. He's going to be a big, handy asset here. There's actually going to be a penalty here in favour of Connacht for a tackle off the ball. It was Franz Malharba with a bit of a cheek. Oh, no. In fact, there could have been two there, but it was Willie Engelbrecht in the end who managed to line up Buckley. That will now be a Connacht penalty. They're about 48 metres out, so deciding against going for the post instead. Will kick this one for the corner. Doesn't find touchdown. Would have been a great kick 5 metres out if he had managed to find it. But instead, now they have to go back down to the halfway and look to attack. Oh, we don't all have to be tough. Launch, guys. Now it's nicely run by John Porch. Back at the line, breaks through the tackle of Ben Jason Dixon. Dweber bent down as if he was going to tackle, but decided against it. Evan Ross, a little bit of a counter ruck there. Now Blades goes across. Bundy Arki, first carry of the match for him, trying to fend off Diamani. Now would have taken him down 40 metres out. Now Blade goes for the box kick in behind. There is a massive gap there and a massive amount of pace here for Mac Hansen, trying to get him behind. It's kicked forward here from Murray, the big number 5. He's not going to quite have the toe needed to be able to catch up with it, but Herschel Yankees looks like he's saying that he hasn't put the ball down, so I believe it's going to go back, and it's actually going to be a goal line dropout here. Brilliant work from the number 5 Murray to get the boot to it before the hand of the Stormers player, but great awareness as well, I guess you could say, from Blades to see the space in behind. Murray just wished he had a little bit more pace. Herschel Yankees. Oh, yeah. To be fair, he didn't put that ball down. He had the opportunity to kick that one into touch. Should have been play on, they say. Herschel Yankees, Joseph Weber, 4'2". And there goes the Murray Rivers. Also on your Tesla, I'm blazed as right now, G, and heating up the munchies. Hopefully, don't forget about them, you know? Make sure those chicken nuggets aren't quite as burnt as the ones at Macca's. That's going to be kicked high from Money Libok. Now, nicely taken there. That was actually Dave Heffernan getting up over the ball. Now, Steven kits off. That's got to be the penalty to the Stormers, and it certainly is. Nicely done, not releasing penalty. And that will relieve just that little bit of the pressure. So far, it has been more Connacht on attack. I mentioned that Samoa versus Kenya currently taking place in the sevens competition. That will be in the 9th place playoff game. It is interesting. There's quite a few games taking place all at the same time here. Premiership Rugby going to be taking place in a short moment as well. Anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We're going to be covering plenty of the rugby action over the weekend. And good to see you all. Keep grinding on Hamish, brother. I'll be more active here once the All Blacks start playing in the World Cup. Says Tesla. No worries. It was good to see you. You have been keeping well. I look forward to seeing you in the near future. Joseph Weber now going to be throwing this line out in for the Stormers. Here he goes. Weber. Importance on the line out being straight. There's a partial knock on there, I thought, from Connacht, but it's going to be play on. Yes, the spicy plum. There's Grant, but now the opportunity here for Connacht to go out wide. Nice hands. Going now to the number 15. O'Halloran actually getting into the line. Out there on the wing, back across to the right-hand side now. Blades fires it back to Cardi, puts the kick in behind. 50-22 attempted and 50-22 successful, I believe. Holly Davidson, no, it was carried back. So she says that it is going to be a Stormers line-out, but this is pure pressure at the moment coming from the Connacht side for the first 9 minutes. The problem that they'll have here is if they don't make the most of these opportunities and they don't get some more points on the board, though, that is where the Stormers, if they start scoring quickly, may end up backfiring. And if you're Tesla, my bro, I'm pumped for the World Cup. Says Marco. Now the ball is going to be thrown into the back. It's overthrown. But luckily for the Stormers, Herschel Yankees able to clean it up. Goes back to Mani Libok. Now across to Ruan. Now had a bit of a fumble, but still has it in his hands. Looks like the turf is still a little bit roughed up after the monster trucks went over it 2 weeks ago. Now Herschel Yankees back into the pocket. Mani Libok makes the mistake. Tries to give it off. Damien Valimza drops the ball inside of the in-goal area. This will be a 5-metre scrum now for Connacht. But the Stormers, their hands are not sticking to the ball. Someone replaced the gripping moisturizer with a little bit of butter or something. It seems to just be slipping out of the hands every time they try and grip it at the moment. Mani Libok slipped out of his hands. Then he gave it off to Damien Valimza, and it also slipped out of his. Nerves early on. Also, we have got there. Hopefully, we see the bro Sean Stevenson in the squad. If he's not, I would be hugely surprised. But then also at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised because it's the All Blacks and it's Ian Foster. Come on, the Stormers, says Nate. Come on, boys, get your hands on the ball. I think the problem isn't their hands on the ball. It's keeping ball in the hands after they've touched it. And no need Spider-Man glue right now. It was hard watching the Chiefs lose last night. 10-match winning streak. It was, but it was... To be honest, it was a very good game. Even though the Chiefs did lose, the Reds played well throughout that contest. It was just back and forth, free-flowing rugby, which I think was quite entertaining. Now this ball is going to be fed in by Blades, taking their time there. They're not comfortable with the way that those Stormers front row are really banging into them. I mean, they've got kits off Franz Maava, Joseph Weber. They aren't exactly lacking in the front row department. And great commentary at this time of the morning. Get a man, Hamish, says Nuzzy Williams. See, that's the thing. It's 2:15 a.m., but I feel more fired up now than I was earlier on, just because these URC fixtures, you look forward to them for so long. They're finally taking place. Connacht at the moment putting themselves on the map. They're letting the Stormers know we're not going to be an easy beat side here. Gonna make sure we push you to the limit. I mean, to cause 2 upsets in a row would be massive for them. Definitely at quarterfinals time. Yeah, the commitment. There's Marco Vunapol, and we still have plenty more coming tonight. We are up for another 6.5 hours or so. Now Blades feeds the ball in, and that ball is now available here for the Stormers. It's gone down in the front row, so no advantage has been given. It's available. Here comes Kian Prendergast off the back. Good low tackle made on him by Willie Engelbrecht. Be the Pumas representative there in the Curry Cup, of course. Curry Cup still rolling on at the moment here. Now going around the side. Good tackle made again, 5 meters out from the line. It looks like Connacht going to continue using those big forwards. I saw Prendergast on his side. Rua's looking for the turnover. I should mention a huge hit here for the Stormers. No Dion Foree. That man is an absolute game changer. And to not have him in this match could be massive. Now Finlay Bielim goes around the side of the breakdown. Getting close, but gets rolled around still 5 meters out. I mean, Ivan Ruas cannot be in there with his hands like that. Now Blades goes back across to Cardi wide. Floaty pass over now to Mac Hansen, the Irish superstar. Has scored the try, or has he? They're going to be checking it, but it may just be the first try of the match for Connacht, and that would put them in a very good position of being 8-0 ahead at this stage. Imagine that the boys all put in some glue on their hands at halftime. Says there's and damn freezing here. You can't imagine South Island no closer to Antarctica and all. Yeah, I think at the moment here, probably sitting about 4 degrees Celsius, somewhere around there. It's a bit chilly. Right, Matt Hansen, has he blown this? Nope. That is completely fine. Matt Hansen scored the try. It was a good last-ditch effort from Angelo Davids, although you wonder whether or not he should have been out on that wing in the first place. But Connacht leading this game now 8 points to 0. Should mention in the Samoa versus Kenya game of the World Rugby Sevens that has taken place in Toulouse. Currently, the Samoans losing 10-0, and they have just given away a yellow card. And that one, I believe that might have been Fa'afoi Falaniko going off valve. This is not a great start, not at all. We've seen 90% territory for Connacht, and the Stormers, their handling has really let them down throughout that first 15 minutes or so. Tough kick here for Cardi. Is Katie still active here, guys? Asking for her mate. She is occasionally. She pops in and out. Though I think she'll be watching the Gallagher Premiership today with her mum. That one's going to be missing away to the left-hand side for Jack Cardi. Not quite able to get that one over. Remaining at 8-0. Is going to be difficult on the angle. Southeaster blowing across the stadium. Yeah, that's true. 34 kilometres a wind. Never going to be too simple to get that kick right. You can see the Connacht supporters in attendance are absolutely loving the way that this match has started. Yeah, the OGs. Says Marco. Yeah, we've still got a few of the original first 100 subscribers who do pop in every once in a while, which is great to see. It's like yourself, Marco. That was a rough-looking kickoff, but it's worked out in favour of the Stormers. It was swatted back, and now Mani Libok has the ball on the halfway line. Went for the little chip and chase. Tried to find space. It's bounced awkwardly. Nicely taken by Ruan. Now, foot was close to the touchline. Bouncing up awkwardly for Ruben van Heeren. Now, Connacht trying to get into the breakdown. This is really the Stormers' first attacking chance of the day. Libok goes back to Damien Valimza. Now almost breaking through. Finds the offload to Herschel. Yankees dragged down just on the 22 there. That ball might have been knocked on in the breakdown, but it's going to be an advantage to the Stormers. Herschel Yankees goes across now to Ivan Ruas, sitting 22 meters out from the line. You can already see the intensity that the Stormers are going to try and bring to this little moment of the contest. Lillian Zuss dragged down and a good tackle made. I believe that would have been the open side flanker for Connacht. Now around the side, Ivan Ruas actually tripping over his own teammates. In that scenario, still advantage is being played. 6 phases in. Marty Libok looking for the cross kick. It's wide open. It's gone to Davids. And that will be the try out wide. Angelo Davids has scored. And the Stormers now back into the contest. And that just shows how dangerous the Stormers side can be. The fact that it took one chance to be able to get themselves to try and get themselves back into the contest means that we've certainly got a game on our hands, ladies and gentlemen. And it will be one little bit of tit for tat. Both sides will be going for it at different times. That's worked out brilliantly there. Angelo Davids, the cross kick from Mani Libok. He did try kick a little bit earlier on in the contest, and it wasn't successful, but he decided to persevere, try again. And speaking of Libok, it is pretty much a summary of what his goal kicking has been like throughout this season. It's been a bit of hit and miss. Got a chance here with a big blowing wind. First kick in the match, 36 meters away. Also got the ball being held by one of his teammates due to that win that is around in track time. There's a let's go try. There's Blues Nate. Lining up this kick, Mani Libok. Looks straightforward from here, but of course, with the wind, it can be a whole different story. Kicked it, and Mani Libok gets it over. Already playing with confidence here. Libok sitting 7 points to 8 now in this one. And brilliant cross kick and try, says Cited. Yeah, it was as open as it's ever going to be out on that wing. I think the Connacht side were a little bit worried about that physicality that the Stormers can bring right next to the breakdown. They knew that they didn't have plenty of players there, then that was going to mean that they could go straight through. There we go, says Grant. Yeah, 7 points to 8 now. So Connacht, they may have had the best of the first 13 minutes. The next 2 minutes went the way of the Stormers. Now kicking off long, nicely taken by Herschel Yankees inside of the 22. Trying to find the touchline, and he does with an absolutely tremendous kick from Herschel Yankees. Now about 48 metres out from their own line here, Connacht will have themselves the line out. I believe that was with the wind to his advantage. Herschel Yankees, if I'm not wrong, he managed to keep it low as well, so it kept on skidding on. And what a kick, says Grant. Certainly getting that one right. Keep it going, says Nate. Now Connacht, 17 minutes into this one at the moment. Going to be thrown in, nicely taken there. Now Blades goes to Cardi, forward pass there to the number 6. No one really looking at it, but Hurley Langton, I believe they got away with that one. That's going to be a knock on, though, there from Connacht. A little bit of extra pressure. The referee said play on again. Did we not just see another knock on? Okay. The commentators are confused. I am confused. Bundyaki goes back now to Mac Hansen. If he breaks the line and scores a try now, there is certainly going to be absolute carnage on social media. Although Stephen Kitsoff tries to get over the ball, unable to do so, he is complaining. The ball was out. Now it's available again. Blades goes to Bundyaki. Flat ball to Dave Heffernan, who's wrestled down. And we can see in every single breakdown, the Stormers are trying to get themselves that turnover. That's a brilliant kick, about 5 metres out now. And the Stormers will have to go for that 5 metre line out. I shout so loud for that try. I woke up Kiwi Lad's mumsy, says Grant. I possibly did as well. That's the thing. I feel like I'm being very loud at the moment, but it's a semi-final. I'm getting all excited. And near the end of the competition. Next week, we've got the Champions Cup final. The week after that, the URC final, Gallagher Premiership semi-final going on at the moment as well. Saracens, they are taking on the Northampton Saints. Win predictor at the moment, the Stormers, 75% chance of winning this game at the moment, according to the win predictor. Is there a number 8 in New Zealand that plays similar to that Evan Ruiz dude? He sounds like a wicked talent. Oh, it's hard to get someone as physical as Evan Ruiz. I mean, I like the way that someone like a Cullen Grace or someone's been playing recently. Like, he seems to be get in there and try and really put the body on the line. But maybe if, like, I don't know. I feel like Jacobson doesn't quite have that same physicality. And 7's going on right now as well. It certainly is. Kenya leading 10-0 over the Samoans at halftime. We have got it on the other screen. We're keeping track of all of these contests. Kick downfield from the Stormers. Now Mac Hansen moves up to halfway. Big shot coming in on Angelo Davids. Broken through one, though. Now Evan Ruiz tries to hold him up. He is tackled low, though, by Ruben van Heeren. Now Dave Heffernan hits it at Kitsoff. Does lose his footing. He's asking for a penalty again. Every breakdown, I'm seeing Kitsoff complaining at the moment, which, I mean, is not a bad thing because sometimes it does work. And he's certainly one of those players who can get those turnovers, but he's got to be careful talking to the referee so much, or else it does end up getting the referee just annoyed with you. And Cullen Grace began another 8 kgs. Boom. There's Marco. And yeah, now that he's come back from his injury, perhaps he will be able to bulk up just that little bit more. Great play. He's got great work ethic as well, which I think is going to be hugely beneficial for him in the future. Kiwi women's Michaela Blige. How did Connacht get the 8? So the first one was a 3-point penalty. The next one after that, they did end up getting themselves the try. And then you're missing the conversion. Do you ever sleep or do you get to sleep? Says Kawasi. Yes, just not at the normal hours. I'm more on a South African time zone over the weekend than a Kiwi one. Like, I'll be waking up. In fact, I'll be going to bed at about 7 a.m., so about 5 hours time. Then from there, I'll be going to sleep for maybe like 4 hours. No, sorry, a little bit longer than that. I'll get like 6 hours waking up, and then me, George, and Daniel traveling 30 minutes up the road to go and do some stuff. And then coming home, 7s all night, and then probably working on Monday. Watch out for the bro, Aiden Ross. That's his girl. Says up Blues Nate and Sleepers for the week. Says that Tesla. I like how you spelt it as well. As if the weekdays when you get your sleep. Looks like there's another little injury here, unfortunately, for Dennis Buckley. Already has hurt himself a little bit earlier on. Hey, bro, says you Andre. Welcome in, mate. You are keeping well. 20 minutes through in this contest already. I've mentioned the discipline of the Stormers has been letting them down a little bit, but also quite a few handling errors early on. That's a nice Samish. There's Nazi. And I was like, excuse my spelling. No, your spelling actually kind of worked better because of it. Due to, yeah, we normally catch up and sleep during the weekdays. And coffee, I've never tried a coffee in my life, which I know a lot of people will be like, nah, you're lying. But yeah, never tried the stuff. I've tried a coffee-flavored jelly bean. About as coffee as I have got, I think. I can't really think of any other time that I've had anything coffee related. And Stormers all the way. Here you go, boys. Show them who was boss. There's Ronald. And yeah, from that one little moment when they scored their try, was very impressive. And aware, Mr. Hamish. Have you been here in South Africa? I haven't. It is one place that I love to go. I've been told that when I go there, I'm going to have braais offered to me left, right, and centre. So I think I'm going to probably bulk up a little bit if I do head to South Africa. That is for sure. Yeah, it would be a great trip to go on eventually. I like to say. Now nicely claimed here for Connacht on the 22. Now the rolling maul. Getting forced backwards a little bit here. Start of this one. Looks like Ben Jason Dixon trying to test out how long his wingspan is, trying to get over the top of that rolling maul. Bundyaki now short ball. Goes to the man on his outside, Tom Farrell. If Hamish drinks coffee, he would be awake for 2 weeks. Good for us, bad for him. Says Desla there. And the pitch is still rubbish for the rugby. I believe it was resurfaced for next season. Or will be. Yeah, the thing is, they had a monster truck rally 2 weeks ago on this ground, forgetting that the Stormers were going to probably have home finals in the URC. It was really silly the way they did it. That is a little bit of a counter ruck there from the Stormers. Not able to get it, though. Now another big hit up here for Murphy. And go visit G-Man. That'll be awesome. There's Marco in there. Unfortunately, G-Man passed away, Marco. I don't know whether or not. Oh, Kitsov just stole that one. Yeah, passed away last year, I believe it was, unfortunately. Oh, so we have got there the beard emojis from Marco in there as well. Now running hard, Matt Cansey with the ball, you heard. They'll try and fix the pitch for next season. Well, they've got to, because it seems like when they played that Sevens tournament down in there, the Cape Town Sevens, it was all roughed up. But that may have been also due to the heavy rain that they were having. Now Cardi, Finley, Bilham, inside ball. Nicely done there. Across. Oh, short ball to Prendergast that was close to forward. It's going to be play on. Just for now, a little bit more of a counter ruck, unless it's just next level. Says Johan Ray. And yeah, it's going to be interesting to see their game up against Munster just around the corner. Now, theoretically, if the Stormers won this game and Munster won that game up against Leinster, advantage is over just for the little half chip there. And that's a big mistake from Connacht, because now they've given the ball back to Damian Williams, who finds the flick out the back to Ruben van Heeren. Now Ivan Ruas dragged down. No. Special Yankees goes back. Mani Libok. Now Williams are holding the ball in one hand. That is brave compared with the fact that he's already dropped it today. Now Herschel Yankees again going off to the left-hand side. Ruben van Heeren goes off to Kitsoff. Nice offload there. Back across Mani Libok. Wide ball goes through the hands of Angelo Davids. No, it was Lillian Zuss this time who puts it down. Chicken nuggies and lasagna toppers are ready. There's Marco and French refs. Not for this one. We have got a Welsh ref as the main one in charge. Mike Adamson, who is the ref. All I'm hearing is knock-ons and forward passes from Connacht, and they are getting away with. So yeah, it is Mike Adamson of Wales in charge of this one. The Waddy's tomato sauce. Yep, ready, set, go. No matter who wins the game, Warriors won. We're thinking about if rugby could bring some artificial intelligence type vibe for ref in the game. So not bad calls, etc. It's a tricky one, though. We've got an injury stoppage at the moment, so we've got a little bit of time to talk about it. But I would think having artificial intelligence, like we see what happens in the football for the offside rule. And then people go, it's wrong. Even though it's literally computer generated, people go, nah, it's lying. It's been hacked. It's been altered to try and give one side more penalties than the other. So I feel like even if you had a robot running out there on the field, people would still say that the referee in the robot is biased. The reader's from Scotland. There's Grant there. And Marnie the Bok. There's Jan Ray. Well, he's got a decent chance getting into this upcoming Rugby World Cup, although that big question is kicking at the moment. Again, Lecker, rolling of the R's. And the Stormers surnames is really great, says Bernice. I get a bit carried away with the R's, I will admit. Sometimes they start, like, I kind of get stuck in the R. It's great for Argentine names, though, I will admit. Like, I'm probably lucky in some regards to roll my R's because I don't think my mum or my dad can. So I don't know where that's come from. Cyborg Robot Fused AI Ref, says Marco. Be interesting watching an AI robot run away or run around on the field, but I guess it's the question of how do you do it? That was close to Ford from Lillian Zuss after Damien Willemse, the ball has gone high. Now not taken nicely by Cardi, and that will become a penalty. Accidental offside there from Connor Oliver. And the more the better man think us staffers like it, says Ethan. Stormer supporter definitely enjoyed that offside penalty against the Connacht boys. So pretty much the way that works is because he was in front of the kicker when he ended up grabbing the ball, it does count as offside. It becomes a penalty. Now it looks like the Stormers will be looking to kick this one for the 3 points. The older guys can never do the R roll, bro. It's just how it is. Yeah, Marco. And I don't know where it's come from. I think it's actually come from when I was younger, at primary school, high school. I used to do all of these different accents in different like impressions. So I feel like maybe it seemed weird at the time, but it's actually probably helped me now. Like I used to be able to do the whole of Mr. Bean's speech from Being the Ultimate Disaster movie. Somehow. Can't remember it now. Can't remember much that he said about the painting. And Whakatane is pronounced Wakatane. And you are well. You do it great, almost as good as the South African English speaker, says Bernice. Great kick there from the Stormers, and it goes down the middle, so that will now make the score 10 points to 8 in favour of the home side. Stormers is the best, gents. It's just facts. Here's Green Shark, and now that they've taken the lead back, that is normally when they thrive, when they start getting themselves a little bit more momentum. How you doing anyway, Hamish? Good week? It's been a very quick week. But it's been an exciting one because of all the rugby that I know is coming up. Like next week, it's going to be an interesting one because my parents are heading away on holiday for the weekend. So I'm going to have about 2 weeks of being here all by myself, which I've then got to decide what days I'm filming, what days I'm editing, streaming, of course. I want to get as much done YouTube-wise as I can throughout that 2 weeks. And then we'll be straight back into work pretty much straight after. It would make grunts, says a Nazi. Yeah, Mr. Beanie kind of went, oh, that's about all he said, really. Now going off short side, Bundy Key. A lot of space available there for Connacht, but now they know that they have to score 7-pointers. It's going to be tricky. You're going to bring over some chicks, bro? I have to know some chicks first, Marco. Your wife's sister about. It sounds like a weird, like, insult, but it's not because we've talked about it in the past. Barty at Jakes. There's Nazi Williams. Mr. Bean. When you won the Grammy, you grabbed it and walked away. Man's always in character, says Tesla. Nice carry forward. Once again from Matt Hansen, the lone try scorer here so far for Connor. Early Langton only makes a metre or two. It's looking extremely hard for them to make meters, although Cardi kicks it behind. And once again, there is space in behind for the Stormers. That is something they'll have to think about. And then here, future Mamani Libok sold the dummy and now gets plenty of distance on that kick. They're going to have to chase after him. Mamani Libok is there waiting. Bounces up nicely, though. And it will be a clearing kick for Connacht. They had to get it into touch. Fantastic kick. They do take it quickly, though. The Stormers now on the halfway line. Dan Duplessis receives it on the outside, looking for the inside run. Oh, is it forward or did it go backwards? I think it might have gone backwards. And if it did, Marnie Libok will have the next try of the match for the Stormers now. And that was a very quick way of firing back. It was just that little half mistake. Oh, I don't know about that. Damien Willemse shining the boot of Marnie Libok. Going, hey, mate, you finally put on ones that actually kick goals this week. Sorry, that was very harsh. But if you're going to do celebrations when you're this early on in a game, you kind of deserve to get roasted for it. 27 and a half minutes in, 15 points to 8 now in favour of the Stormers. I was like, yep, bro, that's Mr. Bean, do it again, cuz. There's Marco, and only tuning in now. This ref has decided that forward pass is not a thing. Yeah, it seems that way. I thought it was a very flat pass from Dan du Plessis, although they didn't show it from that angle. They showed it from the behind, so we can't actually see whether it was forward or not. Sorry, didn't mean to capitalise. And so is that Money the Bock, is how what you call a coloured man. He is indeed Marco, and now he is about to line up this kick. Or is he? He's taking his time, taking a drink here while he's getting ready to kick. Let's go, Grant. We're cooking now. Kick has gone over. That makes the score now 17 points to 8 in favour of the Stormers. Now, I will mention anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We have got plenty more action coming in the near future. We will be covering the Leinster versus Munster playoff game that is taking place in only about a 2-hour time period, somewhere around there. And also the Ireland versus New Zealand game just around the corner for the men's quarterfinals. It's going to be kicked downfield. Dan du Plessis turning fire to Connacht, who are now running onto this ball with some attack in mind. Big shot coming in O'Halloran. Connacht, each time they get to about 40 metres out, they just don't seem to be able to make those extra metres that they need. Blade goes to the short side again. Cardi decides to take contact, jumping on there. Angelo Davids, he's done a bit of that on the 7 circuit. Now Blades goes around the side of the breakdown. This time Ivan was leaving his feet. Try and get him through the side. Now Prendergast goes off to Finlay Beelin. And who do you think will win the Leinster-Munster match? Ideally, I mean, a lot of people want to see Leinster win that so that the Stormers, is he allowed to do that? He certainly is not. Came in from an offside position there. Ruben van Heerden. Yeah, I think Munster certainly still have a chance in there. It'll be about 14 forward passes, but I'll take it. Says Grant. And also, I don't think the Scottish know what a forward pass looks like. I love this so far, says Sidon. And bro, I like before even started. That's how much of a legend you are, says Nazi Williams. Usually appreciate it, mate. That kick has gone too far for the Stormers. Looking for the corner. They weren't successful, though. Cardi will be disappointed with that one. That was one that they needed right on the verge of on the try line. Happy Mother's Day to all the mums. I'm off to bed, fellas. Peace, everyone. I love you all. Later, Hammy says, we'll see you later on, mate. Hopefully you do enjoy the rest of your night and also the rest of your week. Yes, with tomorrow just around the corner. And what's the atmosphere like? I'm listening from the UK. I mean, you can hear certainly Cape Town with the Stormers. They've got quite an advantage. Also got the cheerleaders out there. They're playing a little bit of We Will Rock You at the moment at the ground. But yeah, the crowd are loving it. I think if Connacht were in the lead, it went a little bit more quiet when that was the case. Yeah, I think Leinster versus Munster is going to be an atmosphere and a half. Stormers look too strong for Connacht. They need to score before half-time if they're going to have a chance. And Leinster too strong for the Munster family. Wednesday's gone. AWOL, that's going to be the penalty in favour of the Stormers this time at scrum time. Number 3 to his knees. So Finlay Bilham, the man who's penalised. And also the dude with the dreadlocks looks dreadful. Yeah, he looks like he's been through a war at the moment, Finlay Bilham. I can't tell if that's dirt on his forehead. I think it is. I think that was from when he went face down after Kitsoff forced him backwards. Now Money Libok kicking this one for the touchline, does manage to find it. And that missed touch opportunity from Connacht could be absolutely massive for them. Ball supporter here. I have to support the Stormers today, says Sakabula. And I've always liked the Stormers cheerleaders, the blonde ones looking smoking hot. The ones that look like Cheslin and Colby's misses, says Marco. 4 penalties conceded so far against the Stormers, 3 against Connacht. Now Joseph Weber. Throw this ball in, 7-man line out. Whoever is complaining, the referee's got to be careful. I mean, the referees are just doing their job. Looks like they're closing the gap a little bit. Oh, tell you what, the referee there, touch judge, has pretty much said, if you're going to carry on like that, settle down, don't push me or else I'll F you up. No, he didn't say that. You wouldn't say that to Joseph Weber, but he was almost in the situation, I think, of reversing the penalty. Or giving a penalty in favour. Oh, great run from Angelo Davis, though. Going through here, the Stormers. Number 14 finds the pass to Money Libok. And that will be his second try of the match now. Team are celebrating with him. They are very happy here, the Stormers. But it had gone wrong. Dreadlocks managed Colby's misses a stunning brown skin thing. Yes. There's Marco and also the laughing faces. And they're from Bernice, but Money Libok, career tries 8, second try of the match for Money. Knows that this is a game that a lot of the selectors will be watching. the World Cup just around the corner, and perhaps he's chosen just the right time to peak here, Marnie Libok, but it all came off a brilliant run. Angelo Davids carved through the gap between Cardi and Blades, and then bumped off the tackle of O'Halloran, which then left that gap on the outside. Will Marnie Libok overtake Pollard? Does Willemse play 10? Willemse does play a little bit of 10. He used to be playing as the 10 option for the Stormers, and then they actually had Clayton Blumekes as number 15, but they decided to change that. It seems to be working for them not too badly. Linesman Backchat, we score as a result. Says, I'm not sure whose commentary is more entertaining currently, Marco or Hamish. Says, Ethan and Stormers yell like a ding. Says Grant there as well, but currently 33 minutes into this contest, the Stormers now with the opportunity to convert. Deep press being taken. We are cooking, people, says Grant. Yeah, this is starting to get a little bit more one-sided than Connacht would have been liking. The kick from Marnie Libok. It is straight as an arrow. He is doing absolutely phenomenally throughout the early stages of this contest. And Lekker Stormers Lekker, says Bernice there. Angelo Davids, big bump off. He remembers that from the old school days of the Blitz box. They're going to be in action at about 2 a.m. Well, a little bit later, in fact, I should say, the 9th quarterfinals. And also, I know one of those words, Marco, so I don't think I can read that all out. Now they have been told to use it inside of their 22 at the moment. What is the field looking like? It's still looking very rough. Like it's getting pretty much torn up every time someone lands on it or every time there's a scrum. Those monster trucks were really not a good idea. O'Halloran actually off the field now, and that's going to be for Byron Ralston, who has made the replacement. That might be for an HIA. The O'Halloran might have been knocked back onto his head there. The tackle by Davids, or the bump off by Davids, but Byron Ralston, pretty handy player. We've seen him there. Oh, ankle injury here for Damien Willemse. We'll have to keep an eye on this one. Yeah, Ralston, an ex-Western Force player. Hendrik a dozen of Castle Liger or Lager Uso for extra on De Bry Grant. I don't know what a Connacht is, but I'll put it on the Bry. Here's Grant. 35 minutes gone at the moment. Connacht, if they were to get themselves 2 converted tries, that would get them right back into the contest. That is quite a wee way away by the looks of it. The way that the Stormers are playing every breakdown seems to be a battle. Nice big run from Finley Bilham, but gets driven backwards in the tackle from the physicality of Ben Jason Dixon. Another knock on there from Connacht. And it is going to be now the Stormers scrum feed. Looking very strong in this contest as the next match on after this. It certainly is. Although first, before that next game, we are going to be covering the game between Ireland and New Zealand in the Sevens quarterfinals. Be sure to keep an eye out for that. That one will be taking place at 4 a.m. New Zealand time. And then the final between Connacht, or sorry, not between Connacht, semi-final between Leinster and Munster is going to be taking place at 4:25 a.m. New Zealand time. So that is in approximately 1 hour, 40 minutes. Geez, that's not far away, is it? That's quite exciting news now. I've got a bit of an extra smile. It's only first half, still a long way to go. Things can change this side. They certainly can. Possession 65% for Connacht. But I would say that now the territory is almost going back in favour of the Stormers. They've just been a lot more clinical when they've had the ball in hand, and the space has been opening up a lot more from that Connacht defensive line. 36 and a half minutes on the clock, like I mentioned. Still time for either side. Themselves maybe another try, another scrum reset. That's been happening quite a bit throughout these URC games. In fact, it's happening more and more, which I feel like is something that they might try and look at. I know they were trying to speed up those scrums. So come on, De Bry, brother. We're hungry. Come on, Connacht and Munster. Says Connor. I mean, I would absolutely love a Bry about now. When you guys hear what I have for tea, you would probably, I'm not sure if you feel sorry for me or you just laugh. But pretty much because I didn't have any fish bites, which I was looking forward to having, I had shoestring fries and cheese and crackers. Not combined at different times, but that was what the tea consisted of. I wish I wouldn't stay up for any other man respect that, says Nuzzy Williams, and I hugely appreciate you being there, mate. I know that you were going to go to bed a wee while ago. That was a forward pass. Are they going back for it? No, it's actually going to be a penalty in favour of... Oh, no, forward out of the hand. Mike Adamson, he's doing his whistling weird. You know how you can normally tell the difference between a whistle for a penalty and a whistle for like a knock-on or a forward pass? That one sounded like a penalty whistle, but it was forward from Willemse. That is the first one that Adamson's actually called. What's Valimza complaining about there? It was forward by about 2 meters, but okay. I like the Stormers, but they're starting to. I don't know what's going on. They're being a little bit interesting, to say the least. Here, like to say that that wasn't a forward pass when you forward passed it by about half a mile. I want to say the only other thing he might have been complaining about is maybe the lead chop that he got. And also, we've got there, says Grant, bro, my muscles are so relaxed, eh? I feel a mean, bro, like they thigeted from working out and I'm crumping. And as I do it, it's like stretching my muscles. The ref finally called a forward pass. Says Grant, now the ball is available for Connacht. Cardi, great ball there. The space opens up this time for Connacht and a great run forward here. Got a bit of toe. Well, the man on the outside, Tom Farrell, dragged down now. 22 meters out. In fact, less than that. Bundy Arki thought about the passing option, but he is tackled by Mani Libok. Oh, that's a late shot from Evan Ruiz, and that's going to be tackled off the ball. A silly decision from Evan Ruiz there, just letting the physicality get the better of him. Now 5 meters out from the line, Connacht under penalty advantage. Nice inside ball. Had to be physical there, but he wasn't physical enough. It's the try. Oh, Clark, he gets over the top of Evan Ruiz. It says late hit our team now. Brilliantly done. That is going to be Connor Oliver, I should say. And Williams have been hanging out with Dweber too much, I think, in Dweber's vision. Or I think it's more he's been hanging out with Bongi or Manambi too much because that man knows every rule in the rule book, but still manages to break about half of them and then wonders what he's done wrong. That was great work from Connacht, putting in that extra little bit of pressure. Evan Ruiz giving away that first penalty and then slightly missing that tackle. And also, Evan Ruiz, you do, that was so unnecessary. It was. Like, you've been going brilliantly so far in this contest when it comes to stopping Connacht from making meters. They're giving them that free advantage to then pretty much throw anything they want at you. Like, it's a risky play from Evan Ruiz right at the end of the first half as well. Now, he does have to kick it, I believe. He started his run-up. You started your run-up, so that is now going to be half-time, ladies and gentlemen. That is actually what happened in the Super Rugby game. That is something that's happened more recently. And there was actually a clip going around of when was the last time you saw this happen, but because Jack Carty was walking in as the ball fell off the tee, it then meant that he actually isn't allowed to kick that ball, and that will make the score now 24 points to 13 rather than 24 points to 15 like it should have been. But yeah, true, good old Malfi Bongi, says Ethan there, and Bongi the Weber. Yowza. And also true, says Nate he says Nazi Williams. Yeah, because he started stepping in, that then means that because the run-up has started, Angelo Davids is allowed to go and grab that ball, and that pretty much takes away any chance of taking the kick. That makes the score now 24 to 13, but a very important try. Why don't they have someone hold the ball like the Stormers did for all the kicks? It was a rookie mistake, and they're certainly going to do it for the next one, I can tell you that, because that was not strategic. Two things, Ivan Ruiz, just why? It was completely unnecessary, and thanks for starting the run-up, Cardi, says Vinster in there. So, yeah, I guess it was costly because they conceded the 5, but not quite as costly as it could have been since they did only concede that 5 rather than the 7 there. Khaleesi and Trevor Nakanye, says Marco. I don't like conceding points just before halftime. Yeah, it's normally that momentum shifter, isn't it? They go into the changing sheds just that little bit higher in confidence, whereas yeah, the side that were doing so well, which was the Stormers, I mean, Connacht had the best of the first 13 minutes. That was for sure. They did very well throughout that time. But then it was the Stormers who managed to get themselves back into the contest bit by bit with that line break and the cross kick from Mani Labok to Angelo Davids. Managed to get them right back in it, throwing points away with mistakes like that, says Cited. And that's the thing, that could come back to haunt them. I know at the moment it seems like it would be too much for it to come back to haunt them, if that makes sense, because of the gap between them. But yeah, if that was the thing that separated them, was because they just weren't willing to be a little bit more patient. Like that could be an interesting final couple moments of the contest, if that is the case. Was that even a sentence? I think I just got excited halfway through and realized we've got 40 more minutes to go in this game. What you saying, lads? Stormers on fire, says LD. Yeah, they've been doing very well throughout this contest. It's just been those little errors in terms of the discipline, they have conceded more tries, or sorry, conceded more penalties. Get them here, bro. Just now made me some porridge with brown sugar and cream. Yum, cheat day, cheat day. Wait, so you've made chicken nuggets, lasagna toppers, and now you're having porridge with brown sugar and cream. You did mention you were high, but if you weren't high, or if you hadn't said you were high, I think people would guess about now. And I was like, "You hungry, Hamish?" I'll shout yes, says Blues Nate. I mean, I'm not too bad at the moment. I'll be hungry later on, I think, though. But the thing is, tomorrow, me, George, and Daniel, we're going up the road. So I don't know whether or not we probably will either end up going to KFC or going somewhere. We actually went out for tea last week on Sunday. It was quite nice. I don't know whether or not we're going to do that again or whether we are just going to K-Fry for a quick couple bits of chicken. And also, I just realized I got 40 minutes to go. Okay, there's Nazi Williams. Ruiz is known to give away stupid penalties, to be honest. Got bullied for that try. Yeah, it didn't look like the normal Ruiz. Like, it was just a silly late hit to make it a penalty in favour of Connacht. And then he got run over. Who shouts KFC? Says Nazi. Depends on the occasion. Like, normally we all just buy our own, but like, sometimes someone will get a shout of some sort. And I also had a bowl of rice and lamb stir fry. It was lamb stir fry. That sounds nice, though. Wouldn't mind a lamb stir fry. Sounds good, Amish. George or you? There's Nazi. Out of us to shout, more than likely it would be me. Out of the two. Now just showing all the highlights. It was actually that kick down field from Connacht. It then led to that counter-attacking chance for, was that forward? It looked flat. That pass, I'm just seeing it again. How to shape, I hate to shout George's bill. Be $300 plus. His mark on discipline is vital for knock-on games or knockout games like this. Can't be dropping on the disciplines this side. Yeah, because something that they improved on extremely quickly was the handling. It actually ended up being a bit rough from the Stormers to start it off in terms of the amount that they were catching. But then they actually started it. Like, I don't think they've had a handling error in a very long time since then. And Werner got big in there. Also, we got the Stormers, just like the box, go soft on D after scoring a pizza and potato fritters or potato cakes Uber Eats cheer. I wish we had Uber Eats here. Sadly, we don't. Like, the closest that we've got, you got to go 30 minutes away to be able to get food, like, of that kind of caliber. Yeah, we might end up getting something tomorrow. I want to see this one again because they are showing now that last pass. I mean, I don't want to be the unpopular opinion, but I believe Mani Libok's try, the first one, Dan du Plessis' pass to Valimza, or sorry, to Yankees, I think actually travelled forward. But we worked out this referee doesn't like calling forward passes because there was one where Connacht had a forward pass and he didn't call it either, so I guess it evens itself out a little bit. We have not reached Hamish's neck of the woods yet. Yeah, not yet. That's why Melbourne, when we were over there a few years ago, was absolutely brilliant because, like, you'd put it in your phone. You'd be like, yeah, bit of chicken, bit of that, and then it would show up, and it was absolutely incredible. Felt like a small town boy in a big city world out there. I think their hands heated up after a few minutes, says cited. And defo unpopular opinion, says Ethan. And there's, I've just seen a couple more replays of it, and every time I see it, it looks that little bit more forward. But we don't say nothing in the second half. And also, Cardi, get rid of. Thrown the game away, says Michael. And then also, my bad, still listening to Donny Hathaway in the other window. It's old school. But a man makes you cry. There's Nazi Williams. And they might want some gumboots. There's Nazi Williams in there as well. Yeah, that last try from Connacht. Originally, they got the advantage for Evan Ruiz making the tackle off the ball, and then the number 7 just drove straight through Evan Ruiz. Get himself the try. Currently, for anyone curious about the games that are happening for the sevens, at the moment it's Uruguay versus Japan in the 9th place quarterfinal, and Uruguay have just got themselves the victory, 17 points to 5. If only looks forward when you're down under on the tally. Here's cited there, and you sorted out refs consistency. Want to win fair and square. Here's Ethan. Will be an interesting one because if the Stormers are victorious, like I mentioned, heavily reliant on what happens in Leinster or Munster for whether they are heading away from home or they get to stay in Cape Town. But I'm sure that they've got their flights probably booked relatively soon, just in case. If Munster manage to get themselves the victory, they'll have to cancel those flights because they will be playing in Cape Town for the URC final. But if Leinster are victorious over Munster, it does mean going into that final, we'll be at the Aviva, and Leinster, they'll be looking to win it. Although last year, we've got to remember that they had a couple big playoff games in a row for the Champions Cup and for the URC, and they actually lost both of them, unfortunately, for the Leinster boys. Currently at the moment, still halftime in this matchup, just about to get back underway though. Anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It is hugely appreciated you guys all being here for these streams. If it is, or if it in away finals, Stormers won't win. See, excited. I like this ref stance on forward passes. There's Grant. It's kind of like when you're in a video game and it asks you, do you want to turn knock-ons and forward passes off? And you're like, absolutely. Why wouldn't I? It's kind of like that at the moment. Although he did call one, and Damien Valenza was like, wait on. Why have you done that to me, referee? That was not forward, even though it was 2 meters forward. And Leinster will win. Surely massive favourites. Says Ethan there. Although, fun fact, Stormers up against Connacht actually came in as heavier favourites than Leinster over Munster. KFC got too expensive in New Zealand, man. Makes no sense for 8 wicket wings to cost like $21. Yeah, that's true. Regular popcorn chicken, they don't even make a large chicken anymore. A regular popcorn chicken's about $8.50 at the moment. And it comes in a box about this big. And come on, Munster, says Paul there. And your Stormers hopefully get to the final. That will end, or that will be the end of the road. It will be away to Leinster. Stormers suck away from home in the north. Although, you never know. If Marty Libok plays like he is in this game up north, they might have a very handy chance. Wait a minute, you can do that on a rugby game? Some games you can. Normally, it's the old school ones. Like back on Rugby 08 or Rugby 06, I think you used to be able to turn on and off like knock-on consistency. So you could actually make it so that players never drop the ball. That was always ideal. And then on a couple other games, you can change the forward passes, I believe. If I'm not wrong, just in the overall settings. Although that might actually be on Rugby League Live. Now I think about it, the new rugby game might have it. Can turn off forward passes. And that's why Macca's is good, man. Their prices almost never go up. And if they do, it's reasonable, says LB. And the ref is straight out of Rugby 08. Well, his hairline's stuck back in 08 as well. Oh, sorry, that's harsh on Mike Adamson. It's always rough, though, when your hairline starts at the back of your neck. Hey, guys, I'm at the stadium. Crowd almost 50,000. Says Dion there. And effing rip-off, excuse my language, effing rip-off food these days. Says Nazi Williams. Well, that's why, I mean, shout out to where we went the other night on Sunday for a sit-down meal. I don't know whether, I don't think it's like a chain or anything. So it's just like it was a pub pretty much. But I got a burger for $20. Now, that might sound like a lot, but we're remembering we're in like a pub/restaurant type like setting. We're in this scenario. Oh, I get a burger. It's about this big. It's got a bun, a patty, bacon, lettuce, cheese, more bacon, another patty, another bun. Big old chunky thing. And then also a whole heap of chips with it. Hamish, no hating on bald men. I'm just getting an early grant because I think that's going to be me in about 3 years. So I'm just kind of, what's it called? Roasting myself so that when I get there, I'm like, haha, unlucky for me. I think Leinster making a mistake by resting players, says Michael. It's a tricky one because they've got so many tough games all in a row. They've got to play in a final with the Champions Cup next week. Then after that, they'd have the URC final if they do manage to win territory so far. 29% for the Stormers. More possession there. Who is that lady? Is that Irish brother? How you keeping here? All cool, says Birdie V. That is good to hear, Birdie. Certainly a good crowd. There's plenty of opportunities have always sucked. I'm sure it's like a 20% win ratio up north, and against average opposition, not Leinster. Simply poor up north, sadly. Connacht cooked, says Dick. I mean, they haven't gone too badly in this first half in terms of stamina-wise. I think they've still got plenty of gas left in their tank. Except the baldness is the way to go. Yeah, I think it is. Like my hairline on the side there, look how far back that part is. That's going to be back at me ears by the time I'm 24. That's only in like 7 months. And I from Colombia, go the Stormers. Says Neil there, and go the Stormers, go. Says Alta, but now the DHL Stormers making their way back out onto the park. Big love, mate. Says Sebastian, welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing very well. Today is my birthday to that young girl. Tell you what, if there was ever a time to play it. go for that random person in the crowd whose birthday it was. We've got a $29 super sticker from Nate. That's quite a, it came through. I thought it said $2.99. And then I read it again and it wasn't. Thank you very much, Nate. Usually appreciate it. I'll just quickly get it up so that I can see what the super sticker is. But the second half now underway. And I feel you, man. I'll be shaving my head soon too. And let's get ready to rumble, says Sighted. It is, oh, it's the Hippo. OP. Is that a new one? I don't think we've seen one from Kerr of that nature. Oh, but argy-bargy here now. Okay, Prendergast getting right in the face of Ben Jason Dixon, who was not too happy. I don't even see what happened there. I was too busy looking at the Hippo, which is the emoji thing that's come through. Shout out Kiwi Lad's mum. A fee for Mother's Day, Hamish. I'll certainly make sure that that goes there. Joseph Dweber still in the face of Heffernan. Joseph Dweber. Weird guy. Right, number 4 is getting called over. But yeah, that will go. I think I'm going to take my mum out. It may not be for tomorrow because I think she's going to be heading around to my nana's place. But I think Monday I'll take her out for lunch. That can be where that goes, Nate. The penalty does go the way of Connacht here. Just a drop ball from Evan Ruas. Then after that, Prendergast tried to make the tackle. He was ripped down to the ground. And then, yeah, that was a cheap shot from Ben Jason Dixon going into the spine and got to go game on, says Dion and Hippo. I thought you meant Francie, says Ethan there. Noise cancellation done us a favour. For that, oh, did it not do the, did you not hear happy birthday? Oh, I'll just have to play it for you again, Paul. And now across, big shot coming in. That's a knock on there. From Connacht, and the Stormers once again get themselves another scrum. Good evening, gentlemen. Says Blues, Nate. Also, it's cold hands time again. We're going to need a minute, folks. It's like a diesel engine powering up, and we're on 34 likes. Smash that like button if you're new to the channel. Subscribe. 30V in there as well. Now 41 and a half minutes through. Stormers, they have got themselves that 11-point lead, but they still won't feel completely comfortable. They can't get complacent here. Deep breath's already going to be taken, I would think, for the 4 packs. Looking currently, it is Spain versus, who are they versing? I think they're versing the Fijians? No. A quick look at that. A very short moment. Spain versus USA. One of the quarterfinals taking place in the 7s. That penalty, in fact, a free kick will go the way of the Stormers. They decide to take that one quickly. That is a forward pass from Mani Libok. But like we mentioned earlier on, 4 passes are turned off in the settings. So it will be play on. Now Herschel Yankees goes back across to Eva Ruas. Driven backwards. I don't think either of these teams are going to trouble Leinster, says Deck there. It'll be interesting to see how that Leinster-Munster game goes later on. I feel like it's going to be a physical one between them. Gets off and knocks the ball on. Now Connacht rip it back. Heffernan goes across now to the try scorer. He was falling into it. Roz, no hands off the ball. He's asking why, but it's because his Stormers teammate's still lying in the breakdown. Now going out wide here. Nice pass to Byron Ralston. He is the replacement for O'Halloran, who they did have to take off relatively early due to an injury. And thank God, for the Super Rugby streams, I just can't manage to show up, says Sebastian. Yeah, so, to be fair, they're a pretty hard time zone for yourself, Seb, so it is all good. We do accept that you won't be here for the middle of the night ones for yourself, but it is good to see you now. You're excited for the URC semi-final coming up just around the corner. Now it's going back across to the right. Carty, big low shot put in on him. Slowly losing meters here, Connacht. It looks like now they might consider going for the kick. Not many box kicks is cited. Of course, right on that, they go for the box kick. But that is just a rarity of this contest. Like you said, hardly any so far. Runnell goes across to Damien Valimza. Looks for the kick in behind. Nicely cleaned up there at the back by Blade, who goes, he's been taken down low. Almost kicked it out on the full as well. Yes, he has. And never underestimate a Stormer in Cape Town. I think the Stormers would have half a chance versus Leinster, but an Ireland, no chance really. There's Ethan. So I guess a lot of you Stormer supporters then, theoretically, you're going for Munster in that next game when they play up against Leinster, because that way you get a home final if Munster are victorious. You mentioned Spain here looking like they're about to make their way through to the semi-finals the way they are playing. We get any spam bots lately? None at all, surprisingly. Like, it's actually quite impressive. I don't think we've seen a single person spam. We haven't had a single message we've had to take away or time out in the last, like, 4 or 5 weeks. It's been weird. It's been good as well at the same time. Now, Connacht managed to strip that ball away out of line out time. Blade goes across again to Cardi, now looping around the outside. Lilian Zas misses the tackle on Tom Farrell, but now he is taken down, still inside of their own half. They go back into the pocket, and Carty will put boot to ball. Down towards the 22, Mani Libok is back there. He's got the decision to make whether or not he wants to kick this one or have a run. It looks like he might consider running. Now he goes back across to Dan Duplessis. Now, I should mention they cannot kick this one out on the full. Should have taken it outside of the 22, but now nice quick step in from Angelo Davids. Moves to 40 metres out from the Stormers line. First, get the job done here, though. I was like, yeah, Defo will be sporting Munster in the other semi. Here's Ethan. Nicely taken by Mac Hansen. Does a little chip and chase, goes straight to run. Now, though, his opposite number, or not quite his opposite number. Now, nice spin from Damian Willemse. Breaking 2 tackles, finds the offload on the outside. Lelian Zassier, Ruan now with him. Decided against using him just for now. Now, Herschel Yankees goes back to Willie Engelbrecht. Now, offload back from Joseph Weber through the middle. This is brilliant work. Oh, that's going to be the penalty to Connacht, though, for the obstruction. Mani Libok getting it wrong. Ends up giving away the penalty. And not that I've seen Sebastian says, no, it's been really quiet in terms of spammers and whatnot. See the Stormers coach face frustration for that obstruction. It's like there might be an injury here to Herschel Yankees as well. And that was also huge gap opening up for Herschel Yankees, who just got crushed, unfortunately, which is why he has stayed down. He's ended up underneath one of the locks. Just a little bit of obstruction stopped the Stormers from getting a quick fire try here. They are just showing at number 45 ranked in the URC competition. Stephen Kitsoff getting himself an overall of 89.3 in the ratings. And forwards playing like backs in their phase are playing nice. Here's sighted. Now, Herschel Yankees has made his way back up to his feet. We are 46 minutes through in this contest, ladies and gentlemen. It does seem like it is still heating up in this contest. And there was some scintillation play from the boys from Cape Town. We are cooking. Tell you what, my brain took a little bit to work out that was scintillating or scintillation. It's good to hear because the streams are some magnets when I was regularly here. Says Sebastian. Nah. I think it's just we've gone far enough away from doing cricket live streams. It always seems to be the cricket live streams that attract spammers. And then some of those spammers will stick around when we go back to rugby. But now that we haven't done a cricket live stream in a long time, like the Ashes is going to be bad. We're going to have a lot of spammers on there, I think. And Munster might have a chance. They had a full strength team. There's depth there, but now O'Halloran, not O'Halloran, instead will be Heffernan throwing the ball and nicely claimed by Connacht on the halfway line. Cardi with the flat pass. Looked close to forward. It must just be the camera angle. Don't pin him in as the comment from the ref there. Now Cardi goes back to Prendergast. Runs straight at Van Geerden. Doesn't make too many meters. Going back into the pocket again. That was a weird way of saying pocket. Now kick downfield. Damian Willemse waiting for this one to bounce. It's going to keep on rolling. Oh, wow. It's just continued going. Damian Willemse, the arrogance of the man. The point at it as it went over the dead ball line. I'm starting to dislike him a little bit. I used to think he was an all right bloke, but he seems to be a bit of a dick. But also being quiet, which is good. There's Blues Nate. Right. Going to be now the scrum feed for the Stormers. Dowling making his way onto the field for Murray. Moment Spain in the second half of the quarterfinal. They are sitting 28 points to 7 ahead of the USA, so they will more than likely be advancing to that semi-final. Spambot. There's Blues Nate. And there as well, there's a Mexican wave going around Cape Town Stadium at the moment. The crowd certainly enjoying the action. Their home side sitting 11 points up at the moment. They love another try, though, just to get a little bit more in their favour. Right. Herschel Yankees now. Well, you get the full house in Cape Town, they've mentioned as well, which is surprising because I would have thought with the factor of maybe not having a final next week here in South Africa, they would have possibly got a bit closer. Geez, good afternoon there, Hamish. And just had a break nearly home time. Well, Stormers doing okay, says Ruth. It's actually quite incredible, Ruth. The fact that we were starting or we were doing live streams at the start of your workday, and like, now it's almost the end of your workday. And the green print wave, and Hamish, don't you dare say another bad word about our Crown Prince of Cape Town, Damien Valimza. He's our dick, says Grant. But you can have him. No. He's normally all right. I don't think he was too bad. Maybe there's been some bad blood between these two sides or something before the game. Because even when Marty Libok scored his try and he was acting like he was shining his shoes, it's as if the man's taken like a whole heap of, I guess, energetic tablets. And now he's just on fire. Oh, Angelo Davis, the ball on the outside. Tried to look for the offload, does find Herschel Yankees. Now Damien Valimza goes across the money. Libok stolen by Connacht, and that was a crucial turnover there. Tom Farrell had a pretty decent game so far. Going around the side of the breakdown, Heffernan. Ball's still available now for Connacht. Deciding what they will do. It looks like they will be going for the kick. Steven Kitsoff felt that ball was out. Diamani trying to charge it down, but it's gone high. And do you think Munster will win against Leinster? It's going to be a very tough game, but they come in as slightly less of an underdog than Connacht came in for this game up against the Stormers. So people feel there's more of a chance. How was Dame? He was complaining to the ref as he was falling down for the tackle. I think he was asking for an offside. That one's gone out on the full from Dan du Plessis. So Connacht are now going to have themselves the line out. I think as soon as you notice one thing about a player, you notice everything. So I'm going to try my best to not notice Damien Valimza with his antics. See whether that helps. Amazing. Hamish, been hectic here. Nice to catch up, and it's been about 8 hours now. At least I'll be with you guys the last bit of match. There's Ruth, very true. And we've still got another match just around the corner. Leinster taking on Munster. Be a very awesome one. Dave Heffernan now throwing the ball in for Connacht. Swatted back onto their sides. Taken by Blades. Notice Ivan Roas in the second half has gone into less breakdowns than he did in the first. So I'm wondering whether or not maybe the coach said something and said, hang on, we don't need to commit so much. Seeing as they aren't making a huge amount of meters, we don't have to worry about getting that crucial turnover. Just let them kick it back to us so we can counter-attack. And that is exactly what they're going to be doing. Cardi has been tackled late. Then Jason Dixon got it slightly wrong. Now it's a knock-on there from Angelo Davis. Bundy Aki breaking the line inside border Blades, but they'll go back for the original knock-on. Bundy Aki and Mac Hansen still blatantly pretending to be Irish, eh? Here's Sebastian. Valim's a talented rugby player, but a dick. Are you seeing the real character? Says Josh Pike. Because that's the thing. Like, I hadn't noticed it till this game. So I don't know whether or not, like I said, maybe he's just in a hyper mood today or he's had a fight with one of the other Connacht players before the game. Not sure. And also need to learn to channel his frustrations on the game. I want to see it positively on the scoreboard, not verbally, says Ethan. I feel like that's a very good way of looking at it. Like, the amount of energy that there has been put into asking the refs for penalties and whatnot could have easily gone into doing another set play, just get it going, get another one. Finley, as the dreaded fella, well, we woke up this morning, decided to look ridiculous on purpose. He decided to come on the Stormers. Says Alta there. Right, Stormers, they have made 115 tackles so far, missed 17. Connacht have made 45, missed 20. It's just showing that tackling defense of the Stormers has been pretty sensational, not just in this game, but throughout the whole of the URC competition. Very solid scrum there from both sides. The Stormers now starting to get the momentum. It's gone down. They've been told to use it. Put into Gus. Looks for the pass over the top to Blades, and that kills all momentum. Herschel Yankees able to make a good tackle on him. The knee is down, so they do have to release. So now it's going to be the big number one, Dennis Buckley, who has to play halfback. Gives it off to Murphy. Now going short side. Not a lot of space, but now Mac Hansen has created a little bit more. Cuts back on the inside. Tackle well by Herschel Yankees. It's going to be play on. Diamani, stop asking the ref. Just get in the breakdown, bud. Now Bundy Aki running forward there. Kitsoff trying to get the turnover. Blades Goes across, not the best pass, was a little bit behind the man, Tom Farrell. Another classy run from him. He's probably been the pick of the players. Play territory now, Stormers. Take the threes. There's on. Come on, Stormers. What's going on today, says Ronald. Going off to the left-hand side. Spain are dominating the USA, by the way, in the sevens, ladies and gents. They will be going through to the quarterfinals. Speaking of that, the South Africans, they are going to be playing in their game very soon. Advantage now to Connacht. Now, Byron Ralston finds the pop pass up to Mackenzie Hansen. Not really going anywhere. It is called as a tackle. They do have to release. Play territory. And Ozzy Williams are doing it gangster style. Yankees, the midnight snacker. What a combination of stuff, says Amelia Welcome in. Another penalty going the way of Connacht. And last time they tried to kick it for the corner, they did get it heavily wrong. Ended up going into touch. Yeah, tackling it. That was a brilliant sell of the dummy from Cardi. He actually lured in 2 players to making the tackle on his teammate. What do they decide here? I think they've got to go the corner. They're a little bit too far behind. Decent kick downfield. That's going to be about maybe 10 to 15. Yeah, about 10 meters out. Now for Connacht, they will be looking for that rolling ball opportunity. Go the Stormers. There's Ruben King there as well. Anyone who is new to the channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We have got plenty more action coming up in the near future. We are covering Ireland versus New Zealand in the upcoming matchup that has taken place for the sevens quarterfinals. That is at 4 a.m. New Zealand time. And then after that, we are also going to be doing the game between Leinster and Munster, the other URC semi-final. Actually only got about 3 hours of live streams remaining of the day, which feels weird. A nice charge forward. You're not allowed to do that. Joseph Dweber's picked the legs up. Are you allowed to do that? Joseph Dweber picked up the rolling maul fella and held him about this high. Are you allowed to? I don't think you're allowed to do that. Or is it only in sevens you're not allowed to lift a leg? Am I getting my rules confused? Are you allowed? Okay, first knock-ons from the Stormers. Connacht will have the scrum feed. So I guess it kind of works out, but yeah, I've never seen a player lifted by his arms and his legs like he's about to be swung into a ditch. So that's certainly something unique. Hi, rugby fans, Kiwi lads, and rocking as always. No, not allowed to pick up the legs, I thought. Yeah, so apparently that is fine, though. They're actually going back for the knock-on. So maybe, am I getting my sevens rules confused with union, maybe? Because I know in sevens you're not allowed to lift a leg in a rolling maul scenario, but maybe in general play you are. Hey, bro, he's not faded. I think this ref is drunk. I think he's just pretty much just letting it flow, isn't he? Like in the worst possible way. He's just gone, might as well let it just happen. That's naughty, no lifting, unless you're doing weights, says Roof. So we're all in agreement that that was a bit of a weird situation there with him being pretty much completely picked up. As me, Dax just changed my name. He's not faded in there. Did you change your profile picture as well, Dax, or is it still the same one? Is there even a ref, says Ethan. At times it's hard to know. He's on something, bro, and Joseph Dweber seeing all body parts as arms. That's an early push. It's going to be a free kick. They do take it early, Prendergast, but he wasn't on the mark. So they will have to go again. Now, that's the thing. The Stormers' scrum's probably been the stronger out of the two sides. Seems like most of the time they are getting forced backwards. Fiji now playing Germany in one of the playoff games. And no, still the same one, bro. Says, do you want me to call you not faded, or would you prefer DazX instead? Right, this is where the feet mark were, so this is where the scrum has to be. Says the ref, and Stormers getting a bit too excited, says Ruth. Well, that's the thing. At this point, if Connacht score now, they are not out of this match. He changed the ref settings, no forward passes, no penalties. Yeah, it seems like just anything goes. Well, maybe not anything. We prefer Dax X. Okay, I'll try my best to remember that, but every once in a while when I'm just reading the chat quickly, I may end up saying not faded just because of like catching it quickly. Time off. Players going to have another discussion about scrum time. It has been a real talking point for the front rows throughout this match. Mike Adamson is an awful ref in general, not just this game. Yeah, I remember that game. Who did he ref? Was it Scotland, Australia? That he absolutely butchered the thing. Like, he wasn't even close to getting half the decisions right, and it cost his side the game. I think he might have cost Australia. He's one of the World Cup refs, though, so that's slightly concerning. Just a tad. Also, Dweever don't end up with the sin bin, says Roof. It's quite funny, though, because at the start of the match, I said Mike Adamson, the referee, and then also I told the name of the TMO just so that everyone knew who to blame if it did go wrong. Wales versus Australia. Here's Sebastian. And also, they won't score against the Stormers, I'm telling you. Here's Alta. Big push. Stormers gone down in the front row. It is going to be play on. Blades now goes to Bundyaki here with his crash ball running. I mean, he does very well for Connacht throughout the regular season. Ball available at the back again for Blades. Getting closer now, only 10 metres out. Heffernan gets within 10. Now Dowling gets a crack. Recently came on the field. That was the sub for Murphy. No, it's cool. You can call me Des. Oh, faded, I don't mind. Intense, says Mark. And there's now only 5 minutes out. Massive clean out there. Eva Ruiz leaving his feet through the middle of the breakdown. Now going off to the short side. Thought about the inside pass. Didn't end up finding it in the end. Another advantage. Goes the way of Connacht. Now Kian Prendergast. 3 metres out from the line. And still the penalty advantage reigns for Connacht. Weber makes the tackle around the side. It was Dennis Buckley who had the crack. And closer and closer now to the line. Blades, short pass up to a man who didn't even want the pass. He was just standing there. I think that was Murphy. He was just chilling. And now over the line. Flattened. Is that on the line, though? Yes, it is. And Connacht get themselves back into the contest there. Shocking refereeing. It hasn't been good. The funny thing is, it's been terrible in both teams' favour. It's as if Mike Adamson doesn't know who he wants to win. Can't remember who he placed in his multi of who he needed to win this match. So he's just like, well, I'll penalise this side for a bit. Hang on, was it the other team I bet on? Maybe I've got to go with them. Oh, dear, says Ethan. So, yeah, now the game gets there a little bit closer. Stormers busy choking and try time. And does the ref need spectacles? Tell you what, it would be a perfect ad for spec savers. It certainly would be. That one. They say try on the line. It was close. Fiji also leading up against Germany, 14-0 now for anyone wondering in that 9th place quarterfinal. They are showing the replay now of the grounding, and the crowd are not happy. It's going to be always hard to see from that angle. Irish score. There's Ruth. Right, are they going upstairs? Stephen Kitsoff was already going over to give him a chat. If the ref can easily get a team back into the game. Or is that not a knock on from Connacht, says Jaden. I mean, this referee's been very poor for both sides, if that makes sense. Like, there was one earlier on, like, the man doesn't know what a forward pass is. A ref used to be sponsored by Specsavers before. What changed? Mike must have refused to wear glasses. He's actually said that is a try. The crowd are not happy, but Connacht now going to have a kick at the post. And I will mention, they have got the man holding the ball now. They were relying on the wind not to blow it over earlier on, but it did cost them the 2 points. Irish keeping their nerve. Stormers need to pull through, otherwise it's over, baby. Roof, kick from Carter is good, and that will now make the score 20 points to 24. Stormers narrowly in front by 4, but one more try would make all the difference. If you say anything negative towards him, I'll penalise you. There's Nate there. Yeah, that doesn't... I mean, it might have been very close to the line originally, but then it might have been back as well. It looks like there is going to be a little bit of tape going around the head of Kieran Prendergast. And also, I saw my comment, Connacht following the chat. And also, we have got to go get them Stormers, show them. Says Alto, right, Johan Nierling-Foschier made his way onto the field now. That is replacing Franz Mitterharben. Now, I should mention that the Stormers have got some very talented players to come off their bench. The likes of a Sasha Ngume Zulu might get the chance later on in this match. Joseph De Weber off the field. That's not a bad thing. I think he was starting to get on the ref's nerves. He is going to be off the field for JJ Kutsia. Now makes his way out onto the field. Nicely taken there by was once again Tom Farrell. That man said a very solid game. And Shucks, look, Irish luck, ref. Is he English? I think. Well, I thought he was Welsh, but he's Scottish, isn't he? And also, we have got there, go get them Stormers, show them. And I think Connacht can win this. But it's because It's going to be a heartbreak for the Stormers. Oh, that looked like a late challenge. The penalty goes the way of the Stormers. Damian Valimza. His knee is sore, or is his chest sore? He hasn't decided yet. Going to be foul play, penalty going their way. He's Scottish roof. It end up kicking this one. Connacht coming through late. Yeah, just ended up, unfortunately. It's one of those ones that he jumped early to try and charge down. And then Damian Valimza tried to chase after it, ended up in that same position, I guess you could say. Like, I feel like that one wasn't cynical. Oh, what a kick, though. 5 meters out. Marnie Libok has absolutely smoked that one for the corner. Got the wind knocked out of him. Nothing hectic says cited there. And also, Damien needs to be a soccer player. He can't decide what hurts and what not. Says Dash there. And also, Stormers must push through, says Ruben. And kickable, it could have been, but they decided to go instead with the line-out opportunity. And it looks like a good choice, unless, of course, this one is not straight from Jaja Kutsia. We will have to wait and see. Throws it in, though. Gone over the top. Connacht able to jump up and take it nicely. And that was well done by Marnie Libok to recognise the fact that the player was jumping and to not tackle him. Now counter-ruck there from Evan Ruiz. Doesn't work out, though. He's the only one going for it. So there's a bit of push and shove going on. Very careful. Let him go. Oh, Cardi almost got the rough pass back to him. That one does not find the touchline, but instead does get plenty of meterage on it. Herschel Yankees having a bit of a slip there, but it did go backwards. Now Damian Valimza return and fire with the kick. Going up for this one. Oh, takes Cardi in the air. Puts his hands up, apologises. And that is going to be the penalty in favour of Connacht. On the side of my knee, or on the side of the knee hurts like a mother trucker. It does. Whether it's on the inside or the outside. I actually experienced that. I got hit on the inside in that part where all the nerves are. I got hit directly there with a cricket ball. And it just sucks because your whole knee, it doesn't seize up, but you just feel like you can't put weight on it. Even though sometimes it's not anything too serious. It's just kind of the stinger. But yeah, it sucks big time. Valimza is not having any of it. He smells the victory. And also, we lost our own line out, says Ethan. Yeah, overthrown for that one. And also, wind isn't that good in Cape Town. So it's hard to kick for goal and not faded. Yeah, love your name. Wind is Typhoon Force here. Not easy. The kick says Roof. Thrown into the front. Nicely done by Connacht. Now the rolling ball starting to move. Eva Ruas trying to get round. He might have got his hands on that ball there. Did he do it legally? They say that he did. I think the ball is available now at the back, though. No hands. Get your hands off it, says Mike. Sounds like someone when there's only one donut left at the workplace. Get your bloody hands off it. Come on. You've had 7. Now off. Nice short ball. Oliver already scored himself 1 try in this one. Now back across to the outside. Mac Hansen. Big bit of speed being shown there. Oh, slight tip tackle, but run now kept him below the horizontal, so he's all right just for now. That's Ford. Mike Adamson has seen that one. And he had to. It was like a metre in front of him. Was it Dweber again? Says Ethan. No, that time it was Damian Valimza. Oh, the line-out throw was Jaja Kutsia, though. And Dweber didn't lose it. Nearly enough. And no, Jaja Kutsia came on. Yeah, and the first line-out did not go the way that they would have liked. Wow. The reinforcements have arrived for Connacht. They have just sent out about 7 players. Who's all made their way on? Right. We're going to try and list them all. Dylan, Tierney Martin, he has made his way on. Duggan's on the field for Buckley. I believe Ungier. Yep, he's on the field for Finley. Bilham. Dowling was already on. Jared Butler's on the field. That is for Oliver. And then also Kieran Marmion is on the field for Blade. I believe those are all of the changes that they made. That's all. Thanks, bro. You know, winning Cape Town is something else. It's not easy to kick. You know, if you feel the Stormers play pain, and is that the magical forward pass? It is. Maybe it is the case of the only forward pass he see is the one that's about 2 meters in front of him. Yeah, other than that, it's too far out of the vision. Maybe he's short-sighted. We never considered that. Maybe it's only the stuff right in front of him. He's pretty good in the scrums. He keeps on calling those penalties. Maybe it's just because it was a bit too far out in front of him. It wasn't contrary, Kiwi lads. They're doing all these wonderful games in one day, says Ruth. That ball is being fed in nicely by the Stormers. Great push there from both sides, and it is now going to be the advantage to the Stormers. Evan Ruiz looking for the pass off to Damian Valimza. Now thought about the offload, still looking for it, gives it off to Paul de Vet. Johan niddling for sheer. Now out on the field as well. Oh, Prendergast taken off the ball again by Evan Roos. He's got to be careful here, or else he's going to end up with a yellow card. Now Ruan now, pass on the outside. Lillian Zas got the space. Paul de Vet receives the inside ball, and that'll be the try for the Stormers. Paul de Vet only recently making his way on the field. Forward in the ruck. There's Mike Moore. Pretty essential to have decent eyesight to be a ref, says Ethan. Whoever went off and changed the ref settings. There's Grant there. They had to have a quick pause. They pressed start and then went down to the settings bar and went line straightness off. Line out straightness, accuracy. Oh, that's a great run from Ruan now, though. Went to Lillian Zas on his outside. Backwards pass to Paul de Vet. And that is going to be the try for the Stormers. And that is after Connacht have worked so hard to get back to within 4 points. Now they are going to have to find themselves 2 tries in the last little while. Come on, boys. And Stormers get pressure till the whistle. Maybe refs whistle blown away with the wind. Now let's go, let's go. There's Blues name. You can see there the coach has gone like that, looking up, going, thank you. Finally. Doesn't give praise to the gods for that try. He's getting to the stage I don't think he could watch. He's getting stressed out. On Dobson. Now, kick has gone over. It will now make the score 31 points to 20. Rohan now, you beauty. He's consistent, isn't he, Rohan now? He gives you, I would say he always gives you about a 7 or an 8 out of 10 performance. Like, sometimes it's never quite the most flashiest of all the Stormers' backs, but he always does something. He always gets something out of him, whether that's an assist or a big tackle being made. Stormers now getting that ball off the kickoff, currently sitting 14 minutes remaining in this contest. One more, boys. Sears Blues Nate. Now Money Libok goes back to Damien Valimza, finds a pass off to Libok, who now goes for the boot down the field. Left boot, great kick from Mani Libok, and it forces them back into the, what are you complaining about, Mani? It's a good kick. I assume he's yelling at his own teammates there. And I don't know why. Ryan is not as quick as he used to be, but always solid. Yeah, I feel like with that lack of speed comes, I guess you could say, vision and knowledge. Yeah, consistent workhorse, solid 6.5 to 7 out of 10, lad. Experienced Ryan now. Nicely claimed by Connacht now. Looking for the rolling maul to get themselves back into the contest. They are still 2 tries down. All available at the back. Like it is going to be Marmion. Goes across to Bundy Arke, a man who hasn't really had a huge amount of runs throughout this contest. The tackle has been made. Gets off looking for it. Not now. He has actually yet to get himself too many turnovers in this contest. I believe he got himself the one early, and that is all. And thanks, Mr. Ruan. Now one more. I know you can do it. Now passed out wide up to the halfway line now. Oh, and the turnover is good. No, it's not. Uh-oh. Damien Valimza is about to start throwing stuff. You're on the ground. He's put his hand up. He's going to go over and ask the question to the referee. Disappointed there, Damien Valimza. Marnie is having a go at Valimza under unnecessary pressure. Is that what happened there? They don't seem to like each other, those two. I think they're both fighting for the same spot in the box. They kind of know that. So, I mean, he shined his shoes before, which was nice of him, but now he's not happy with each other. Not fatal, yeah, fabulous stuff. Stormers go. Now Connacht seen 4 penalties out of the last 5 against the Stormers. They've got to be careful here not to give away a yellow card. Gone to the front, nicely taken by Connacht. Ivar Ruiz trying to hold that ball in, but it's available out the back. A lot of changes being made for Connacht all at the same time, which can sometimes work and other times it does hurt you badly. Hope we have Foree back if we get to the final. Yeah, Dion Foree is a massive game changer for Connacht, and I feel like he is definitely one that they'll love to have back. And I think the players are picking up that this ref is a bit lax. They're talking a lot to him, says Sider. Yeah, I guess if a ref is going to be a bit 50-50 and you have no idea what way he's going, like maybe that little chatter in his ear makes him look at something a couple more times over. Kian Prendergast wrestled down in a good low tackle made by Kitsoff. Now off to the left-hand side. Solid carry this time by Jack Angier. Big shot on Mac Hansen. The left. Carty. Bundyaki. Rough pass there. Angelo Davids kicks it forward, and now it's going to be a foot race. John Porch manages to claim that one. It's available now for them. And I think we're asking for that penalty for maybe an offside play or accidental offside, or sorry, not accidental offside, playing the ball on the ground, I should say. Now Mac Hansen pierces through the tackle of Ivan Ruiz, but dragged down by Willie Engelbrecht. Stormers, they've still got a couple more subs up their sleeve, which could be very handy near the end of the contest. Nice wide ball to Bundyaki, now in open space. Angelo Davids manages to drag him down. Connacht just slowly and methodically trying to make their way up the field here, not rushing it. I have a bad feeling they're going to go for a kick soon here, and it might end up costing them position. And that boxing match I will watch is not faded. Now back across here, rush defense from Lillian Zas, gets back up to his feet, and it is the penalty in favor of the Stormers due to this. And even though Kian Prendergast was going back, chase after that one, money and Willemse in a boxing match should be exciting stuff. Yeah, it would be a good one to see. Winner gets the fly half, or at least gets a pop jersey, like the old fighter house in the UFC. Also, we have got thank you, Mr. Nell. And a roof, the Stormers want to defend the URC title, says Daz. On distant kicks, not going to be good. Ruiz, he's given a lot in this game. It's just, unfortunately, I don't think a lot has really gone his way. Think of a penalty advantage he's given away. I can think of a drop ball that he had. Take the three. It looks like that is exactly what they're going to try and do. Mani Libok, about 35 meters out in front. 5 from 5 today, so he's certainly been kicking them well. But anyone wondering about the sevens for Toulouse? Oh, Norman Leicher. Like he's just asking. It was going like this for something, so I'm not sure what that was. And if Kicker will take the 3 year and eat up some time, that is true. And Willemse and Mani has to get through Pollard. Says you 1-3. Also, we have the yep, not good. Excited, but yeah. Fiji winning their game up against Spain. Quarterfinals of the men's sevens is just about to get underway. Mani Libok, he has missed this one. His first miss of the day. Probably will get mad at Damien Willemse for not holding the ball properly on the tee. See some nervous looking Stormer supporters in attendance, but I think Connacht will be the team that know that this is where they need to get themselves another try extremely soon. And Willemse is a utility back, centre wing, fullback, and fly half. There's Ethan. I'll say, yep, got the Stormers, or you got the Stormers control the last 10 minutes. Wow, Ruiz was sent backwards there. Massive shot coming in from Butler and Unger. Our ball comes back across Paul de Vet. Goes to Dan Duplessis. Offloads back to Mani Libok. Looked for the little kick. Asked to the ref before even chasing after it, saying that he was obstructed. Now Tom Farrell. 50 meters out from the line. Kicks off, says the ball's out. Referee thinks otherwise. Needs to go beyond the back foot. It's another penalty. This ref, to be fair, it's hard to know what you are going to get penalised for and what you aren't going to get penalised for in this game. Mainly because the referee at times seems like he's just making it up as he goes. And I have to say he's been as bad for both teams, which is good in a way because neither side can purely blame the ref because he's had some shocking calls in both sides of the equation. 8 minutes of madness coming up in the box. I need some hot glitter boob tube, some pink lipstick, and 8 minutes of pure hell coming up next. Oh, it's stolen there by the Stormers. Little bit of an overthrow there from Dylan. Now, back across to the right-hand side. Damien Willemse kicks it in behind, looks for the 50-22. It will pull up, though. Nicely taken by John Porch, who will now kick it back down the field. He's got some good distance on that. It's curling as well, and it's a 50-22 from John Porch. Damien Willemse sits there, hands on hips, and goes, hang on. That was what I was going to be covering. This ref can eat a bag of dicks, says Grant. Didn't beat around the bush, did you, Grant? In that situation. Damien Willemse disappointed with that one. This ref sucks big fat chocolate donkey balls. There's Grant. Right, Ivan Ruiz shakes the hands of the referee. as he now makes his way off the field. Like I mentioned, not the greatest game we've ever seen from Ivan Ruiz there. Yeah, he'll be disappointed with his performance to a certain extent here, mainly because he's had such a good chance to be able to make a real impact, but it just hasn't happened. I'm not impressed. Valimza, what? For sucking as a commentator, you are great, says Ken. Thank you very much, mate. Usually appreciated. And eat a bag of chips, he says. That's going to be another advantage in favour of Connacht. Now with 6 minutes remaining, Marmion goes across the Bundyaki, quick hands to Tom Farrell. Now quick hands once again out to the right-hand side. Hanson wide pass to Byron Ralston. Why did he make it so hard for the kicker? Right in the corner for that one. But Byron Ralston gets the try for Connacht. And now they are back into this contest once again. There goes our best of a player, says Jazz there, and keep your hands, you planks, or keep your heads, you planks. Oh, Ralston, second try. Whoops, that's almost gone. This is going to be a tough kick for Tom Daly. Never mind, Stormers did the business. Here's Roof. This is a very tough kick for Tom Daly to come onto the field. Isn't Tom Daly also a great British diver? Maybe. I think my sister used to like him. Now that one's gone away to the right-hand side. Angle kicks are good. Well, always good. Well, sorry, always going to be hard under these conditions. Nice ball out to Ralston. That makes the score 25 points to 31. A converted try necessary for Connacht and ARDA. Says Scrum, welcome and hope you are doing very well. Connacht does not want to go away here. They know that if they can stay close up until the final moment, all they need is one penalty to go in their favour. They could find themselves in a very good position here. 76 minutes through. Connacht have scored the same amount of try. And I was like, yeah, yes, Tom Daly, the diver, pretty sure he swings the other way, unfortunately, for his sister. Yeah, I think that's why she got sad. She had to move on to someone else. Realised that her or his husband wouldn't be too happy about it. Irish of quality. There's Ruth. Nicely taken there by Tom Farrell. Deep inside of their own territory, Kieran Marmion. Now the kick down the middle of the park from Tom Daly. Nicely taken now from Mani Libok, who will put the kick up high to Damien Valimza. He's after it as well. Nicely taken. Oh, that's a hard one once again. He managed to, did he take the mark? No. Okay, they were just asking whether or not there was the penalty going against them. And Irish have quality. They certainly do. Quick tap taken. John Porch kicks high and long. It goes straight back down to Mani Libok, who now is looking for the kick up high again, making it tricky. This time it won't be inside of the 22. Oh, it's smacked Daly in the face. The perfect 10 for the Stormers. And now Diamani finds the offload away to the side, picked up by the Stormers. And that will be the try for Tennyson, and that will secure the game now. Still wants to win by 6, says Ken there. No, dang, this game looks great, says Scrumless, and looked away and they scored a lovely, says Sided. But yeah, the mistake there from Tom Daly. Unfortunately for him, the ball smacked straight off his mush. It is never ideal. Those are not faded coming down, like having water instead of champagne. Yeah, kicked high from Mani Libok. Just hits Daly in the face. And it was a little bit loose. Diamani picked it up, looked for the offload. And also we have got there, this ref is no good for rugby. He sucks, says Ronald. Well, the great news is, Ronald, he's been appointed as one of the Rugby World Cup referees. Aren't we lucky? That's a try. Sends us to the final, says Grant there. And also, go the Stormers, go, says Alan. The Stormers are going to Dublin. Either that or they're staying home, depending on how it goes. Of course, Munster, if they do cause the upset, will mean that the Stormers get to stay in South Africa. Poor Tom, not his day, says Roof there. Now the Stormers with Mani Libok. Making sure he takes as much of the time as he physically can here. Every single second you can get away with. But that kick is taken. He has missed again, Marnie Libok. Near the end of this game, he has been going back to his old kicking ways. Your Storm Bruin. They're sighted there. But yeah, now with an 11-point difference once again between these two sides, means that unless Connacht score pretty much instantly here, they are going to be knocked out of this competition. And first of all, even at the full-time whistle, fair play to Connacht. They showed up in this game. There have been so many times where sides from the Northern Hemisphere have come to South Africa and they just haven't turned up. They haven't been willing to put in that 110%. That's another penalty to the Stormers there. Yeah, some sides just don't turn up. They don't look like they want it. The Connacht side here have always been in this game to a certain extent. They've still been trying just that little bit. Hansen, the man penalised for that one. And his boots needs shining again. Where are you, Valimza? And also a huge storm going on here. Get off the field, Lebok. Here's the roof. It's like Angelo Davis just getting the calf stretched out. Of course, if you are used to playing sevens, are used to that explosive nature for only a very short amount of time, and you're into the all-out action. Those two ladies are having a lot of fun at the rugby. I'll say, yeah, Roof, I agree. We can pop the champagne now. I think it's over, man, says Daz. Now, 1 minute remaining on the clock. It should be secure now for the Stormers, unless something incredibly drastic happens. Mike Adamson, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me with the way that this game's been refereed. He might say, hey, let's have 10 extra minutes, boys, just to see how it goes. I know that there's one thing for sure. The Stormers will be absolutely sweating bricks if he is announced as the referee who's going to do the final. Mani Libok kicks it across field. Now Diamani gets it on the outside, flicks it around the back. Ruan now scores the try, and that is class from the Storm, scoring in the final moment. And that will be the win for the Stormers, and that makes the score just that little bit more further apart. And greetings, Amos, just dropped by. Like, there's mountains of asylum. He really is giving the ref ideas. Yes. There's there, and certainly cooking up a storm right now in Cape Town. Outrageous is sighted, and watch out for Munster, says Ruth. And there as well. Also, that is how you finish the game. Exactly right. Building momentum for their next game in 2 weeks' time, where they will be well rested and ready to go for their final up against one of the two other Irish sides left in the competition, either Munster or Leinster. The round-the-back pass from Diamani couldn't get any better in this contest. Ruan, the man, proved himself try. He deserved a try, Ruan, now, after what he's done today. And I'll stop him making me rich right now. There's Nate. And also Stormers, they go into the final. Unless the ref goes, let's add 10 minutes. Yes, and Diamati picking up its handy skills from Lukhani or the Wizard Arm. Now, Mani Libok. Final kick of the day. 41 points, 225. A lot more one-sided now at this point of the contest. And the kick is over from Mani Libok. And that is going to be the contest. 43 points, 225 in the end. A bit too strong at home there, not Leinster, the Stormers. Speaking of blue, we're going to see the Stormers versus maybe Leinster in the final, or blue versus blue. The kid's saying she's still hungry. I mean, I could eat. That is for sure. Although I have only got another 10 minutes in between live streams, so it's going to be a sneaky little snack if we end up sneaking one in. But we certainly saw some tries at the end of that game, that is for sure. But Connacht, like I mentioned, this scoreboard now looks a little bit more one-sided than the game actually was. We saw this try in the 77th minute and then the try in the 79th for the Stormers. But I have to give Connacht a fair round of applause. At the end of the day, like I mentioned, some sides go to South Africa, they don't turn up. Connacht wanted this one. They fought hard for it. They were able to get themselves that upset victory over Ulster last week. Did well to get as far as they did. Now the Stormers will once again try and defend their throne after winning the last URC competition. Thanks for the coverage, my Kiwi brew. And then also we have got there, grab a quick bite, boss. Sevens up, says Blues Nate. And there's I'll probably refill the water. That will be about all the energy that I need for this next one. I'm fired up. This is going to be a fun couple hours coming up now, ladies and gentlemen. Aro or Elro, sorry, has said, say my name. He also said Stormers won. And also we have got there, Hamish, I'll give you a piece of bride Connacht. And there as well, says Grant. That now means that me and Mumsy have to film that video, doesn't it, Grant? Seeing as the Stormers won. And thanks so much to Kiwi lads. Let's go, Master Chief. Says at the finals. But yeah, like I mentioned, 10 minutes time. You might wonder, that's not when Leinster Munster starts. But first of all, we've got a quarter-final matchup taking place between New Zealand and Ireland that we are going to be covering on the Kiwi Lads channel. Then straight after that, we jump into that Leinster versus Munster fixture. That one going to be a very awesome game indeed. But thank you all very much for tuning into this live stream. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you all in about 10 minutes' time for that matchup in the sevens between Ireland and New Zealand.